Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. We're excited to have Yadin Katz from Monday.com here on our space. He's the head of user marketing at Monday. I'll let him introduce himself, but we have an exciting session today. We're going to talk about Monday's new spaces, and we're going to even demo a live space that we're using for no code devs, show you how it works, show you how to get that space, and talk about some of the other spaces that are available. So I'll turn it over to Yadin. He can give a brief intro and then we'll get right into the demo for the webinar.
Thank you, Art. Thank you so much. It's great being here. And thank you, everyone, for joining. So, I'm head of user marketing at Monday.com. For those of you who are not too familiar with Monday.com, it's basically a work operating system, right? Where organizations of any kind, of any size, can create the tools and processes they need in order to manage their work better. So, any vertical, any sector, you're a small business, if you're an enterprise and you need to manage your work better, you're using building blocks like different apps and automations and integrations, right? And you can build and customize the workflows for your dream team, right? Now, the thing about this, you probably heard of Money.com, probably saw billboards in subways and subway stations all around the world. It's getting big. The company is already public on NASDAQ, has almost 200,000 customers, 200 countries all over the world, all that really great stuff. Uh, Basically, it helps the average Joe. It helps each and every one of us do our jobs better. So if you are an accountant, if you need to manage teams, if you are a PMM, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. You don't need to be in the tech industry per se, even though it is a tech company. It helps all across the board. So it basically helps us all do a better job. That's like the general background and info on Monday.com. My job specifically is I'm head of user marketing. My job is to help increase the brand and to find new ways to promote Monday in more organic ways to get more or increase word of mouth or on Monday.com. And I'm head of user marketing and I lead one of the projects here. It's called Monday Spaces. Now, Monday Spaces is basically giving the tool for any user to share the work they do on Monday with others and let others use it. So if I created an amazing workspace or workflow for me being as an accountant, let's say, I can share it and other accountants around the world can download it to their Monday account and basically use it. So they don't start from scratch building the building blocks on their own. They have a reference to start with, which is basically a big thing here right now because it puts the users on a pedestal and let them promote the work and share the great news in the work that they do. So to wrap it all up, Monday Space is basically kind of a bifurcated, let's say, feature. It has two legs. One is a public store where anyone all over the world can just type in www.mondayspaces.com and access the store. If you're a Monday user, you can just download those templates. And if you are not a Monday user, you will be asked to sign up for a trial or whatever and access. That's one leg. The second leg is within Monday, just the ability, once you're working, once you're on the platform, to just start sharing your work, share whatever it is you've done, your workspace, your boards, your workflows, share it with the world and post it on that first leg that we talked about, the store, so others can access it and use it. Whew, that was a long speech, but I hope you got the gist of what I'm saying. Ask away any question before I ramble on and keep talking. So I'll take all of your time.
Yeah, no, I think that was a really good intro and gave some context. I know some people who are watching this webinar may have some experience with Monday.com, but others may not at all. So I think it's really helpful to understand what you can use Monday for, who it's for, which is really anyone and everyone from SMBs to individuals all the way up to enterprise. And then to bolt onto that, how we can use Monday Spaces to like reuse, share, and recreate our knowledge and give that knowledge to other organizations. And it's not just about giving, right? You'll be able to go out there and maybe you're an accountant, but you have trouble managing your content pipeline. So you'll be able to find something that maybe you're not an expert in creating up a space for. So I think it goes both ways. It's both giving and taking. And we here at No Code Devs use Monday for all kinds of different workflow and
Yeah.
processes, from our CRM to our newsletter, which we're going to talk a little bit about today. to a lot of other things really in between that. But seeing how we can like spin up a version of our space and then share it with others is really empowering. I think that we as creators want to share what we do and help other people out. So, and it's really easy to do with Monday Spaces, and we'll get into all of that. But yeah, that was a great intro to Monday, and really appreciate having the Monday team here to set this up for us and talk about Monday. By the way, we'll have a dedicated Q&A at the end where you can ask all of your questions. I'll answer them, certainly pertaining to our space if you have any specific questions. And then if there's any follow-up questions, we'll be able to connect you directly to Yadin. He can answer them via email. They're happy to answer your questions if you have any specific questions about Monday that I'm not able to answer. So yeah, thank you so much for that intro.
Definitely. Yeah, try out Spaces, guys. And I can't wait to see your demo. You'll probably go over the store and the feature and show everyone here how it works. So really excited about
Yeah, we'll go ahead and dive in. I think you said you might be hopping off, but I'm going to go ahead and get into the demo. So thank you so much again for being here, and we'll switch right into the demo now.
it. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Enjoy, guys.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, looks like we can see the screen. Excellent. I'm going to switch over here. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a Monday.com workspace. And specifically, we've actually created this as a space as well. So what we're looking at here is our No Code Devs newsletter sponsor intake. And just to back up, what we use this for is actually to manage all of our advertising on our newsletter. So whether somebody purchases a business or an individual or a creator purchases either an individual ad for our newsletter or they want to do a newsletter takeover, we're basically using the same workflow for both. And this space, this board, this workflow, all basically starts with a form. And these forms are built with Monday.com work forms. So you can create forms like this and integrate them into your boards or your spaces without much trouble. So we have two basic forms here. We have our ad intake form. So this form is pretty basic, but if somebody buys an advertisement on our newsletter, we then send them this form so that we can collect some basic information. What we're trying to eliminate here with this space is the back and forth with emails asking about different ad times, different ad sizes, different questions that come up that just take a lot of time. We're trying to eliminate all that back and forth and save time by integrating and automating this completely with our space. So here's our form. We take the user's email, the headline, their company name, their desired date, which for the ad are Thursdays only, because that's when we send our newsletter, the copy for the ad, any link or UTM, and then any image file. So I'm actually going to go ahead and fill this out. I'll say test ad. Just to show you how this works in real time. The company name, we'll make this NCD. Let's just say we want to have this ad run tomorrow. We'll say this is some copy. Link UTM, we'll say nocodevs.com. And then we can go ahead and upload a photo. Let's go ahead and upload this. This would, of course, be our company logo or something like that. I'm just uploading a placeholder image here. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. And thank you. Your form was successfully submitted. Now I am actually in my Monday space, but you can actually copy this form link just like that. And this is a public link that you can send to anybody who purchases an ad. So we have an automation set up. When somebody purchases an ad, they will automatically be emailed a copy of this link so they can complete the sort of like sponsor intake form. And this is saving us a ton of time. So let's hop over here to our main table. And this is not our live environment because we have sensitive customer information, but we've populated it with some demo data and we can actually see here all these new submissions, but we can see the submission that just came through. So we have, the status is set by default, the pending, the contact information, the desired date of the newsletter, the headline, the copy, the link UTM, and the file. So we have everything that we need to basically set up this ad for our newsletter sponsor, which is super cool. We also added an additional link, which is not exposed to the client, which is the publish link, so that we can track the publish link of all of our past newsletters. Monday.com's environment is super flexible. So we've got this set up into different groups. We have a group that's submitted, and by default, when the form is submitted, it goes right into the submitted group. We have needs attention. we have in progress, and we have published. Before I show you some of the cool behind the scenes things here, I want to show you some other views that we've set up. And as you use this space, you'll have these views set up by default, but you can actually add your custom views as well and modify a space to your own liking. So moving across the top here, this is our main table. The first tab was just our ad intake form. We have a second form here, which is essentially the same form, but it's for a newsletter takeover. So this would just be if you're taking over our entire newsletter. But here's a couple other views that we find useful. We actually have a calendar view here. So now again, this is demo or dummy data, but you can see here really quickly through this calendar view, all of the ads that are set up to run. Now, if this was some client, it would show the client's name. So it gives you a really just nice visual way to take a look at the calendar at a glance, see what's coming up and see what's already been done in the past. So the calendar view is really nice. You can easily set that up and connect it to your data. And then we also have this Kanban view. So it just really depends on what works best for you and how you like to work. Some people like to work in Kanban view, but this essentially is the same look at this table here, just in a different view. So if we were to move something from needs attention, company Z to pending, we can come back to this main table and we can see that this will update from needs attention to pending. It is connected here. The other thing that I want to show here is our automation. So when you download this space, these automations will actually be built in by default, which is super, super cool. You can also add your own automations to the space if you would like. So I'm going to go ahead and click this automate tab here, and we can take a look at some of the automations that we've set up in this space for you. So the first one here is when an item is created, the status is set to pending. So when somebody submits the form, we don't want it to go to live or active or needs review or something like that. We want it to go directly to pending. So we've set up this automation for you. As you can see, it's on. When you copy the space, you can of course change these, delete these, modify them to your liking. But these are some of the ones that we have set up for you here. And it gives you a good idea of some of the different automations that you can run within monday.com. So here's a second one. Every day, if the desired date has passed, moved an item to needs attention. So this is really helpful, right? So if the desired date of the newsletter goes into the past, then we want to have that flag in our table here as needed attention because something's wrong. It should have been published, but it's not. So we're moving it to needs attention. So that's an automation that we've set up for you so that you can manage your workflow. And it gives you a good idea of the things that you can do. Another one that we set up here is when a status changes to live, move an item to publish. So again, pretty self-explanatory, but when we want to move an item to live, this one here, it'll actually go ahead and move it down here to publish. And you can see that happen there in real time. So super cool. Let's go back here and just take a look at the last one that we set up. So when the status changed to need attention, move an item to needs attention. So same thing. If something needs attention here, let's just say this new submission, as soon as we mark that as needing attention, it's going to move it to this needs attention group within our monday.com space. So super cool. Now, let's just say you wanted to add a new automation within this space that wasn't set up by the space creator, which is us. So really easy to do. You can just simply choose add new automation. And you get this really visual workflow where you can actually build automations here. So let's just say when the status column is changed to live, let's just say in this example, we want to actually email out our newsletter advertiser to let them know that their newsletter will be published and it was changed to live. And we don't want to have to do this manually. We can actually set up an automation to do this right within this space. So what we are going to do is we're going to just click Gmail. We're going to use my email here. We're going to send an email. We could say, you could customize this as much as you want. You can even use variables from your table, but we can say your ad has been published. Okay. And again, you can use these variables here to populate the email. So there's some programmatic things that you can do, but I'm going to keep it pretty simple here. You can change the subject and CD ad is live. Okay, great. And then you can choose someone. And who do we want to send this to? We want to send this to the contact on the email column, and we can create automation. I'm not going to create this right now, but I'm giving you an idea of the different things that you could do. There's all kinds of different integrations from email to Slack. We have a Slack notification set up when a new ad is purchased so that we can be notified to come into the board and edit it. So there's a lot that you can do with different automations to streamline your workflows. Taking a look at this board here too, I just want to show you a couple other things. You can assign the submissions or the ads to different team members if you would like. You can actually add sub items to the ad items. So if there were subtasks that needed to be taken care of, you could do that here and assign those separately. There's the ability to write updates and tag team members. You can see the activity log, upload files if you need to, add additional files or different ad creatives that maybe we get via email or something like that. So there's a ton that you can do within this existing board. Now, you can also filter and slice and dice your data however you would like. So we can set up filters to take different looks at our data, and we can even save those as boards across the top here. So ton that you can do to take a look at your data. This is the space again that we're using to manage our newsletter ad submission. So let's hop over here. I'm going to share a different screen and show you Monday Spaces and what that looks like here. Okay, hopefully everybody can see that. So where I've landed right now is just mondayspaces.com. This is new, but it is live. Anybody can go out and check out mondayspaces.com. It's basically this directory of different spaces for different business use cases. So everything from R&D to HR to leadership and IT. You can browse this on your own time and see the different things that are out there. There's already a nice variety of Monday Spaces available, from influencer management to we have our deal tracker here, animal shelter, Thanksgiving planning dinner. So you get it. It's really anything from personal to business. And soon anybody will be able to create spaces. But if we go over to marketing, we can actually scroll down to the bottom here and we can see this space that we were just using, which is in the newsletter by No Code Dev. So what I'm going to do is show you how easy it is to install this space into your monday.com environment and, show you how all of the settings are already pre-configured when you install it. So I'm going to go ahead and click use space. And here you just get a little preview of the space, different things that you can do. And you simply just click get space. Share this new tab. Okay, so you just brought to this sort of accepting the terms and conditions, and then we simply click add space. It's going to take a second. It's going to import the space into a new workspace. And here we go. We have the entire space set up in a brand new workspace. So all the data that we just added in the previous demo is not here because we just cloned this into a new workspace. And everything is set up, including all of the pre-built automations that we set up initially in the space. And again, you can customize this from the ground up to be however you want. The space, just think of it really as a starting point for whatever workflow that you want, because everybody's workflow, honestly, is a little bit different, but a space really allows you to have that foundation and then you can build out from there. And even not only just like a foundation, but I certainly use spaces as inspiration because I'll clone a space, take a look at what other people have built, and I'll say, oh, we could use this in our workflow. So I think it's a really good tool just to see how other people are thinking about their workflows and their automations and things like that. So let me go ahead and stop sharing that here. Okay. So hopefully that was a good walkthrough of how we're using Monday Spaces to manage our newsletter and manage our newsletter ads. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to check out this webinar, check out monday.com spaces. Really appreciate your time and have a good day, everyone.